Hello, Syracuse. Flyhound builds a dual-use technology to save lives. We wanted to build something to serve our communities and serve our country. Our mission is simple. We find people fast. Now, when we started, we were building a product to find missing hikers and backpackers in places with no cell service. But after speaking to 100+ agencies, we learned they wanted what we were building, but they needed it to do more. They needed to be able to find missing persons in our communities, elderly patients with dementia, children separated from their parents. They needed to prioritize home for rescues after natural disasters, which are happening more frequent and stronger than ever before. And they needed to protect our communities by finding criminal suspects, identifying how many people might be in a building, and aiding in investigations. These are the things that 46,000 public safety agencies in the United States need to do every single day, and Flyhound can do all of them. Let me introduce you to Molly. Now, the thing that makes a bloodhound special is its unique sense of smell that can hone in on an individual from a distance without ever having to see the person. Molly isn't the name of this bloodhound, it's the name of our product: mobile, location, and identity. Molly is an attachment for existing commercial drones that can locate and identify any cell phone on the ground or in a building. Raise your hand if you brought your cell phone with you tonight. Come on, raise your hand, let's see them. Look around. Thank you. The truth is, we all carry our phones with us everywhere we go. From morning to night, they come with us and we spend more time with them than anything else in our lives. And without having to carry an additional device, membership, or subscription, Flyhound can see people as pins on a map, enabling agencies to find potential victim or suspect 100 times faster than before. We save time, we save money, and we save lives. But we do so with privacy at our core. We built this to enable the protection of privacy to the public while still letting public safety agencies answer the call for help when needed. Now, public safety as a market is big. There are 46,000 agencies in the US alone, 18,000 are law enforcement. There's access to funding. Drone programs have grown by 800% since 2017. That's over 3,000 deployments. And Flyhound is critical to maximize the value of every single one of them. But most importantly, this is needed now, right now, and it's needed everywhere. There's not been a single agency we spoke to that said they didn't want this, and we built our annual subscription to be affordable, about the cost of a single police car. But more than just our community, Flyhound is dual use with applications for military. We already have inbound interest from the US Army Special Operations Command to fit our technology to soldiers in the battlefield to protect them. We've been asked to assist in the Ukraine war effort and to help protect US embassies around the globe. Now, the competition that exists are all land vehicle based. Think trucks and cars. They have to drive around roads and need signals to go through blocks of concrete, steel, and glass. Flyhound is able to traverse any terrain, flying over buildings, having direct line of sight with people on the ground, making it faster and more accurate. And in some cases, like rural or forestry, it's the only option. Best part, we have a method patent already granted that protects cell phone locating devices from being added to an aerial device. Now, Flyhound is founded in New York State, and we're building in Syracuse to take advantage of what I call the Central New York trifecta: affordable place to live and work, access to top talent from the 3 industries we touch: drone, defense, and telecom. They all exist here. And access to the community of support that started with Genius New York and CenterState and continues with each of you here tonight and the network we've been introduced to. We're building our first 100% made in Central New York module here, thanks to Think Variant and the Keenan Center. We're hiring senior roles locally, so if you know anyone, come talk to me. And we already started our relationship with Syracuse Police and New Air. Me, I'm from New York, went to school in Albany, worked for AT&T in East Syracuse on Bridge Street, and we're building our headquarters here to stay. Now, Antonio and I, decades of experience in telecom, we know the phones and networks that you use every day. We know how to take this knowledge and win this market. We're building a tool, one that works anywhere and is needed everywhere. And the faster we build, the more lives we save. And ladies and gentlemen, we're building it here. I'm Manny, and we are Flyhound. Thank you very much.
Hi, Manny. You have other competitors in this market, such as LifeSeeker. How are you different?
Well, first, we have the ability to fly. Now, LifeSeeker also flies, but we have a patent that protects us in the US. So LifeSeeker had some challenges entering the US because of that patent.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your patent differentiates you a lot?
Sure, so two things. We have a method patent that protects basically adding a cell phone location device that actively connects to a phone and locates that phone on an aerial device. That's why we see most of the competition in the US being land vehicle based.
So you spoke to dual use for Mali. If it were to go operational, size, weight, hardening standards would all come into play. Do you have a plan to addressing some of that?
Absolutely. Our swaps, which is size, weight, and power, are critically important. Because this flies on a drone, it needs to be lighter, it needs to be better protected. We're working with folks like the Keenan Center, Think Variant TDO, to help improve our mechanical design, build something that's more water resistant, more tight to dust, and be able to meet military specifications.
Do you have a time frame for all that?
Sorry?
Do you have a time frame?
We don't have a specific time frame. We're working on building for our military use case right now. We plan to have an MVP within the next 12 to 18 months. Our focus today is strictly on public safety because we know there's a big market to address, and we need to have those conversations that take some time.
Thanks, Manny. Great presentation. Can you talk a bit about your traction to date? I know when we met yesterday, you talked about having already a few agencies on board. Can you talk about where those are, and if there are any gaps from those pilots, like what you need to solve to make those operational?
Sure. So we have 4 agencies that we're working with today. We're a fairly young company. We started about 2 years ago. We have 4 agencies that we signed, and when we delivered to those agencies, we learned that the range that we had on our module wasn't long enough because we didn't have our own custom hardware. We took some time, we went back to the drawing board, did some R&D, made our own custom hardware, which we're proud of. We're gonna file for 2 additional patents, and we're gonna deliver that hardware in about 3 to 4 months. Now we have 112 agencies already on our waiting list, ready to accept delivery. If we can close 80% of them, that's $6 million in revenue. So once we could address for that, finish the delivery here and start making those sales, then we're good to go.
And you said timing for that, to get those operational, to get the 6 to 8 million is what? When do you think that would be? The time to market with those clients is when?
Sure, so we've already identified which of those 112 agencies will close faster. We did a survey with them, and we have 8 agencies that are willing to sign within 90 days of availability. So we know that we have ability to ramp up. We have agencies that can close fast because of budgetary benefits, and agencies that will take some time.
Manny, you said that you're hiring some senior roles locally. What roles?
Sure, we have a senior RF engineer, an RF designer. We're looking to do an embedded hardware engineer as well, some software folks to work on our core of the technology, as well as a front-end developer to work on the software that the operators will use.
Manny, which military standards will you be designing this next box to?
I'm sorry?
Which mil standards will you be designing the dual-use box to?
So we're listening to our customers. One of the things that I've had experience selling to public safety in the past, but we don't have experience selling to military. We do have some advisors here locally that have helped us with that to understand which specifications we need to handle for that.
I admit I'm still a little confused on how long it will be before you're in market and which market you're going to be in market with first. So could you slow down a little and walk us through the plan there? You have about a minute left, so hopefully that's enough time.
Sure. So our 4 agencies, we have 1 in Colorado, 1 in North Carolina, 1 in Georgia, and 1 in Texas. We already started the relationship with Syracuse Police. We're going to work with Onondaga County as well as City of Oswego so that we can test and start demoing this locally. We want to have partnerships here locally that we can test and iterate fast. Right now, working with our customers involves us, flying to them. Those will be the first 4 customers here that we're delivering to, and that time frame will be about 3 to 4 months. Once we have that set time frame, we're reaching out to those agencies on our wait list to start scheduling times where we'll be able to deliver to them. We'd like to have a paid customer in upstate New York and central New York within 6 months.
So which key components or technologies do you need to redesign to reach a tactical operating range?
So we actually have that today. So a lot of the things that we're solving is about the design of the case, EMI interference. We've done a lot with our RF board, and we're really proud of that. Our RF board's about 5 inches by 5 inches, and it has about as much transmit power as a cellular base station, a small cell. So we have the range. It's about making sure it's packaged and properly working with our software. Thank you, everyone.